Já estamos live. Sofia.
Dar só aqui um minutinho para as pessoas também irem entrando. All right, good morning, everyone. I'm going to be doing this webinar in English, as we do have several people present that do not speak Portuguese yet. I want to thank you all for being here today. We aim that this webinar provides you information of what the Hub aims to do and how you can participate and work more with the Portuguese Hub and EIT Urban Mobility. So today we are going to have a very specific goal to tell you about what are the opportunities for you to work inside the EIT Urban Mobility and actually what should be your next step. So it's an information session about this. As you probably know, the Hub is constituted by 3 entities. I am Sofia. I am the Head of Business Development at BGI, Building Global Innovators, which is one of the 3 partners. So I'm going to go through a quick presentation of the 3 entities, and throughout the session of the next 1 hour and 50 minutes, you'll get to know each one of the representatives from each one of the entities. So BGI, as I was saying, is an accelerator, a deep tech accelerator. It's a spin-off of MIT, a partnership between MIT and the Portuguese government, under a program called MIT Portugal Entrepreneurship and Innovation Initiative. And the main goal, obviously, was to scout for the best technology, support it to grow in Europe, and once ready, support them to go to US through our MIT network. And so obviously the area that we are more connected is with business creation and with tech transfer and pilots, and more the support of startups and that connection with the corporate and investors. Then, and you'll have a better presentation afterwards, but we have as well IASA, which is Institute for Advanced Studies and Awareness. It's a non-for-profit association with a private nature. And the main focus is how can we actually, there's a mission with shared values to develop a sustainability citizenship of the millennium. One of the main topics here obviously is the light mobility, sustainable mobility, and basically that's IASA is going to do several throughout the year, several other activities related with this area, with awareness, with the connection between the citizens, and also the some knowledge that you can take out of academia, because there is a relationship that is important. And then we have Thales, that most of you know as the French company. Here we are working with the Thales Portugal, who, as you know, is a leader in integrated solutions for transportation. And so we do recognize Thales as a critical partner for the technology in basically developments of transportation and solutions for also safety and information of the passengers. And so they're also going to be here today and developing throughout the year many activities on mapping the ecosystem and the relationship actually with the industry itself. And so for that, we are going to have today 3 main, let's say, presenters, and I would like to go through the agenda with you today, also for better management of expectations, even if when you have register, you probably saw what's going to happen. So we are going first to have, right next to me, we are going to have an introduction of what actually is EIT Urban Mobility, as the public-private entity in Europe. And we are going to have Paul Martins, the Vice Chairman and Founder at IASA, having that presentation. And also for a better context for everything that is going to happen, so you understand the reason why. Where does this came from? What's the vision, the mission? After that, we are going to have actually a more tailored introduction of what EIT Urban Mobility Portugal Hub is doing. And as I said, Portuguese Hub is BGI, IASA, and Thales. And Claudia Carocha, who is our manager of sustainable and food programs at BGI, will be presenting that part. And then we are going to be talking about the calls for proposals for 2022, where some of you might be interested. It's also for us to understand and somehow either involve you with EIT Urban Mobility and involve you with EIT Urban Mobility, the Portuguese Hub. For that, we are going to have João Mira, the Technology and Innovation Manager at Thales, Portugal. And so here we are going to go a little bit of what's the aim of the calls, what's the strategic focus, what are the requirements for applicants, the deadlines, what are the criteria for you to be selected, what's the process for you to actually kick off with the call, and then some other topics that are obviously important as financially, the budget, and the eligibility, the costs that are eligible for you to submit. And of course, a very important part, anytime we are talking about public funding, the monitoring and reporting. So after that, we are going to have back again João Mira, who is going to give a little bit more specific requirements on those calls. We are going to also have Liliana Magalhães, the project manager at IASA, that is going to be looking more towards the citizen engagement, while João is more towards innovation. Liliana is going to talk a little bit more about citizen engagement and also academy, as IASA has a great connection to the academy, and I will leave that to João and Liliana to explain you more. Then we are also going to have Claudia talking a little bit more about the calls for business creation and also RIS. And RIS you're going to be learning today if you haven't yet, which is the Regional Innovation Scheme, which are specific areas of dedicated teams, innovation from those exact countries to support, in this case, urban mobility transition in those countries that are still on a process of moderator innovators. Fortunately, as some of you might know, Portugal is becoming a strong innovator, actually became a strong innovator, which is extremely interesting to see that happening and coming as well up on the rankings, on getting high talent, on getting, in this case, 4 unicorns. And we can see that there's a good opportunity in Portugal, but for the next 2 years, Portugal will still belong to the RIS countries, which means that we can go for these specific calls for these specific countries. And of course, we're going to have a closed session. Some requirements or I'm going to invite you as well, everyone that is inside of our YouTube. I see that we have an audience of 94 people, which is great. Thank you so much. It's great to see that you are interested. And indeed, you are going to see that right now, the hub itself already has some ideas even for calls. So we might also call you up to be part of the hub on those process. But all in all, what you should know is that there's a lot of opportunities for us to work together, and that's exactly what we want to do with you, given that you can be a startup, a student, a professor, or academia entity, a corporate, a city. So we do have several programs and we do have several calls that we will explain you for those several targets. And if you, throughout this session, have several questions, as you are on YouTube, you will not be able to speak, but you will be able to write your questions. And so what I will ask you is that we are always going to have someone from the webinar organization here reading the questions. So please feel free to pose your questions to the different speakers. And also, while we are presenting each one of the opportunities, we are also going to have BGI team, the BGI Joral that you can identify on the chat, who is going to put you here the links and also the emails of contact points. So overall, what we want is to do impact in Portugal. This is a specific hub to do this in the area of urban mobility. And so I hope you do enjoy this session. I hope it's that you take out of it a lot of great opportunities. And with no further ado, I will pass to Paulo Martins, the Vice Chairman and Founder at IASA, to make us an introduction about the EIT Urban Mobility. Paulo, you are unmuted. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Sofia. Thank you for our excellent presentation. Now I will share my screen to show you some slides. You are seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I will speak about the EIT Urban Mobility, but before I will talk about, a little bit about the EIT Institute, only to framework the knowledge and innovation, the KIC, which is the knowledge innovation community of the EIT Urban Mobility. Sorry for the English people speaking. I have the slides half in Portuguese, half in English, but I will speak only in English. So EIT is the European Institute of Innovation and Technology. I can say that EIT is an universe of knowledge and innovation, at least for those that are entering on the EIT world. So here is the website of the institute. I will advise you all that to pass to take a little time to see the site and all the members and the elements that are included in the site. Here is a small graph to focus when EIT began. EIT began in 2008, and we have here the evolution of the knowledge innovation communities, because EIT Urban Mobility is what we call a knowledge innovation community. So it's a program which will give up to a lot of projects, as we are seeing here in these applications this year. So the KIC Urban Mobility was born in 2019. It's the new KIC, the last KIC of 8. In the future, there will be 2 more KICs. In 2022, it is programmed the KIC of Culture and Society, which is a new one, and EIT is an integrated part of Horizon 2020, and of course, as we can see, there are a lot of euros spent in applied research. Some figures about EIT: 983 companies, a lot of higher education institutes, research centers, cities, regions, and non-governmental organizations. So more than 1,500 partners. Some figures here: leading partners, investments, venture supported. So I'm talking about the whole community of the KICs. The vision is to have an independent European body nurturing to innovation and entrepreneurial talent, supporting new ideas. So this is what we can call the research applied, research focus on the market, focus on the product. The mission is increasing European competitiveness and sustainability, and power the innovation and entrepreneurship in Europe. Here we have the virtuous triangle of EIT, with research on one stream, education and business. So this is the way EIT works, promoting innovation and integrating business and education and research. This is a very, very interesting way of doing things. For those that have already worked on the old framework programs or the research framework programs, this is very different. It is not research for research, it's research to go to the market, to have products, to have real results. And here we have a very interesting graphic of how the KICs have evolved from climate KIC, the first one, to EIT Urban Mobility, the last one. And we have also here a KIC, a group, what we can call the ninth element of the EIT, which is the EIT Alumni, where this group is focused on students and the interaction of students of all EIT KICs. So now I will speak a little bit of the Urban Mobility KIC. Here is the web page of the KIC. Is also a universe with a lot of information about the KIC, the vision, the mission, and the several areas of action. Our vision in the KIC is a very interesting vision. All begins with the cities. Cities are defining the problems, are identifying the best problems to work on, and this identification is produced on the City Club. The City Club is the focus of all is the partage point of all research, and cities define what to be developed, and then we have the academy and innovation, business creation, and factory. The arrow here is pointing on the scale up of the research process. So cities define the targets of the research. Academy helps developing programs that fulfill some of the academic needs, and we have the innovation area, business creation, and factory. Here is the part of the City Club that ends with the living labs. So cities define the problems to work on, and after all the innovation and research projects, cities are living labs, test beds for the research project. So as you will see in the next presentations, having cities on board of the projects is very important, because these cities will give birth to the tests of all the research that is produced. And academia has also a strong impact here. Academia is divided on the master school and the doctoral training and competence hub. At least a lot of you are not thinking on going to the master school or doctoral training, but at least go to the competence hub page, see the competence hub web page, because it has lot of very, very good courses and small courses, and for free, and it is very interesting to be there to see any courses that is of your interest. The innovation area is the beginning of the research process, so where the ideas must be applied to projects, and then we have a next step, that is the business creation. And at the end of this step of business creation, we have the factory. So first steps on creating the business, which is the innovation process. Some of the ideas will move to the business creation, and the best of the best will move to the factory level, which is the level of global expansion of the companies, global expansion of the products worldwide, eventually, if these are very good products. So factory leveraging solution around the world. Quickly, only speaking about the regional innovation scheme, which is not specific for EIT Urban Mobility. It is a program of the whole EIT. We have here the countries that are on the RIS scheme for the urban mobility. Here is the Portuguese hub. So the focus will be developing local innovation ecosystems in the RIS countries and involving RIS key players in EIT Urban Mobility, education, innovation, and business creation. As Sophia said, we are a rich country here in the urban mobility, and we have a specific program, a specific application for the RIS countries that we should use. Finally, only to show you the EIT Urban Mobility is divided in 5 hubs, 5 innovation hubs. We are linked to the South Innovation Hub, and there are also the East and West hubs, the North and the Central hub. And I will not explain here the membership of the EIT Urban Mobility, but these slides include the details of the membership. So if someone want to get more details, please contact one of the entities of the reserve, and we will give you assistance and to understand what is your best way to enter the reserve and the EIT partnership. And that's all. Thank you very much, and please continue.
Thank you so much, Paulo. Indeed, please reach out to us. We are also going to put on YouTube the link for you to also get in contact with us. From the chat box, we still don't have any questions, so I would say that we can proceed. Paulo, thank you so much. We'll come back to you in another session soon. And for now, we'll continue with Claudia, who is going to present us more in specific what the hub is doing in Portugal.
Okay, just to confirm, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Great. So thank you all for being here today. So as Sophia said on the opening session, we have these 3 partners in the hub in Portugal. We have BGI that is more related with the business creation and communication activities. I'm going to explain a little bit what is this. We have IASA that is more responsible for citizens engagement, but also a lot of academy activities. And we have Thales Portugal that is here responsible for local community building, for mapping our ecosystem of urban mobility in Portugal. First of all, I'm going to explain you a little bit of the activities and the results we had from last year. And then I'm going to move for the activities that we have planned for this year. So regarding last year, so we have these business creation activities. Business creation in EIT Urban Mobility, it means activities that support startups or entrepreneurial talents. In Portugal, we run the program Open Innovation, and we did it with 4 cities involved, where the cities present the challenges for startups to solve them. We are also going to have the same program this year, but more or less we had around 25 startups participating, pitching their solutions to these 4 cities, Covilhã, Fundão, Angra do Heroísmo, and the metropolitan area of Lisbon. And we have a partnership with Vodafone Power Labs. And all the 5 winning startups receive an award of 1,800 euros to develop their pilot with the cities. In terms of academia activities that were run by IASA, we have an entrepreneurship course to the students. We also had a lot of dissemination of education activities from the network, but also information webinars about how can you apply to these academy programs of urban mobility and also in Portugal. And it was also organized two citizens debates with citizens that wants to improve and give their testimonials and feedback to cities to improve their urban mobility in the region. We also have some activities on local community building. Here we had protocol signs with cities where cities manifest their interest in collaborating not only with the hub, but with urban mobility itself. We also develop a benchmark study about cities, but also about the ecosystem and the startups that are working in the ecosystem of urban mobility. And we also have, of course, meetings with relevant stakeholders to not only increase the network of the hub, but also to create synergies, to create partnerships with the hub and this network of urban mobility that can create a lot of value for different types of stakeholders that want to be part of this area. Of course, we also have communication activities. Last year, we organized the launch of the hub, and we counted with 500 people here. We counted with media mentions, but we also do dissemination on social networks. So if you want to be updated on the opportunities of EIT Urban Mobility and the opportunities of the hub, we are going to share with you our social media of the hub and our entities, so you can be updated on everything that's going on and how can you be involved in these activities. And we also organize a program for startups, EIT Jump Starters, where we promote trainings and workshops on business model for really early stage ideas, where you only have an idea, you want to create your company, you want to create your startup, and here BGI gives training to these startups for them to grow inside EIT Urban Mobility. So this was more or less the activities we did last year. So now we are going to present you the activities we have planned for 2021. And in all these activities, you can be part of. You can be communicating with the hub, you can be part of the academia activities, you can be part of business creation or local community. So we are going to share also these presentations with you. So if you see any activities here that you want to collaborate with us, please get in touch because we are looking for partners in Portugal that really can make these programs happen and can have the greatest results. So first of all, we are going to also have the business creation activity again, as we did last year, but this year we are going to do it with Vodafone Portugal, where we are also going to have 4 cities working with us on presenting challenges to potential startups, cities that collaborate with Vodafone Portugal. And we are going to find here opportunities for startups that want to pilot their innovations in the work environment. So if you really want to be part of this, you can also contact us. We are also going to have again the academia activities with IASA, where we are going to develop one entrepreneurship course to students. We are also going to deliver again the information webinars about the academy. In Academy, in Urban Mobility, we have master programs, we have summer schools, we have courses online. So we are also going to organize these information webinars for you to know how to get involved in these events. And we are also going to organize 5 thematic workshops in areas related with urban mobility. This will be online and then delivered to the students. So you can also, if you want to get more knowledge on this area, you can also be part of these online courses. We are also going to have the development of local community building activities. So we are also going to it was like a second phase of progress of the map of the local ecosystem we already did last year, where we are going to approach the relevant stakeholders, the opportunities, trends that are going on in this industry in Portugal. We are also going to have events to support proposals. Here is more meetings. So if you want support on your proposal to any of these calls we are going to present today, or any others that you want to apply to EIT Urban Mobility, we also support you on that. And then we are also looking for partners to join the EIT Urban Mobility. So if you think that this could be an option for you, for a corporate or a city or a startup to become a networking partner or a project partner, we can also support you on that. We will give you all the details as Paul mentioned before, and we can also help you and support on whole this process. In terms of communication, well, we are doing today the first online awareness event, but we are also going to do one in the end of the year, where we are going to present you again all the results of the activities that we did this year. And we are also going to have one physical event for public authorities, 3 info webinars for startups and academia, where you can learn opportunities that the hub has for startups or for students, and they can join. And also, again, we are going to organize 2 citizens events to engage cities, the citizens debates that we organized already last year, where you can go and you can express opportunities and feedback to your city on improvements. And last but not least, we are going to organize also another business creation activity, the EIT Urban Mobility Innovation Prize, that is going to be a partnership with Getting the Ring. And this is the biggest competition for startups. We are going to have 4 cities involved: Fundão, Braga, Abrantes, and Angra do Heroísmo. And these cities are going to present challenge of urban mobility in their regions. The competition is going to be launched next week. So you also have a startup idea, a project, or also a research that you want to pilot or to collaborate with these cities to implement. Please contact us, because this program is going to be open next week, and we really are looking for talents and startups that can really be part of this program. The startups are also going to receive training from Vodafone Power Labs, and they are going to have the opportunity not only to pitch their solutions for the cities, but also for EIT Urban Mobility directors. And you can have the opportunity of also join other programs inside urban mobility acceleration programs, and really be part of this community that has a lot of opportunities for you. And last, the winning startups of this competition is going to receive an award of 5,000 that can be implemented in creating a pilot with the city that you solve the challenge. And this is all from my side. Don't worry, it's a lot of information that we are going to send you these presentations. If you see opportunities, please reach out to us. This is our role here. So this is what we are looking for, collaborations. So don't hesitate to reach out in case of any question or any collaboration.
Thank you so much, Claudia. Right on time. We still have no questions, except the ones that you just answered. We are going to share both the presentation, and because this is on YouTube, this is a link that will stay here. So if you have questions, you can always go back to this session in the future and look to everything we said. With no further ado, we'll pass for the next session, which is going to be with João Mira. And he's going to be talking to us about the general information of actually the calls for proposals for Urban Mobility 2022. So João, the floor is yours.
Okay, I guess you can hear me.
We can hear you, we cannot see you.
I know, because I have an issue. I'm sharing my screen, hopefully.
Yes,
yes.
we can
You
see
get
your
it?
screen. Yes.
Okay, so the objective is here is to give you some information about how to participate, how are calls prepared overall, and what is available, and how can you prepare yourselves and your ideas to submit to EIT. Let me just go into. Okay, it's running. Hello. Yeah, I guess so. So first, some general topics. We need to start from the beginning, and at the beginning, you need to be ready to or in conditions to submit your ideas or proposals. So first step is to be registered in the Commission portal, not on EIT. That's a second step. For this, if you're not registered, you need to get an identification number, something similar to the your country's VAT number. You just need to register, and it will be given, and an identification number, the PIC, will be given to you. That's relatively quick and simple. But there's another step. This is the first step so that you can record your identification in a project or in a submission. But then you need also to have someone to manage the links with the Commission, EIT, or other H2020 or Horizon Europe organizations. That's the LEAR. The LEAR is the legal entity authorized representative. Is not the CEO. It's someone that will manage the interactions with the Commission or organizations from the Commission that deal with this kind of projects. This pick with your universal identification on the interactions and should be used whenever required. Then you will need also to go through some evaluation process of your company. If it's an SME, they will have some questions, but it's relatively simple. It's boring, it's bureaucracy, but it's relatively simple to get. Then you need to register for participation in EIT. For this, you have a Plaza, and then you need to follow the steps that are indicated for you to register yourself or your organization. Just an information, you can register yourselves in both the Commission and EIT. This is not a representation of your organization. It's your personal information that will be also used when you are part of a proposal. When you're included in a proposal as a member of an entity, your personal your professional information can be also used as a link to share information. So in both cases, you can have you should have your registration so that you can follow the process of a project or a participation that you may have. So this is also, again, relatively simple, but the validation will take 1 day. After that, you're ready to move forward. And what does this mean? That you can submit a proposal. If you are the coordinator, then you need to be the one to insert all the information of your proposal. If you are not a participant, the information will be handled by the coordinator, but you will have access to some of the information, and in some cases you need to add additional information, but most of the interactions will be done by the proposal coordinator. So how to participate? First, you need to know what's happening. And for this, you need to search on in this case, the EIT Urban Mobility Portal, and check for the open opportunities, and then check what are they for. No one will know better than you what you want to do, and you need to match what you want to do with what is requested. So go through the information. Usually there is a link separate for each bunch of opportunities. The calls are divided by topics and then by subtopics. So it's relatively simple to understand where you're fit. So you need to understand what are the objectives so that you can check if you are eligible or if it's interesting for you. What are the conditions? And conditions may be of different kinds. If it's for an SME, if it's for academia, if it's for cities, if you need to have more than one, which countries, which group of countries, number of participants, and so on. Eligibility are also the conditions needed for participation if you are eligible. For example, if it's only for SMEs, there is no reason for a big company to even try to participate unless it is considered. What is the expected impact that the proposal should have for the for Europe and for the EIT and so on and so forth? So look at the conditions. It's not that complex. It's much more complex on the H2020 or Horizon Europe projects. It's relatively simple, but look thoroughly through the documentation and check where you fit in and if you fit in. How to search for partners? Well, the most efficient way is to know already who fits your interests. So you use our contacts, but this only happens after some time. So if you're starting to participate in this kind of projects, probably you don't have many contacts. But the EIT Mobility has on its portal has a link to simplify this with a matchmaking link where you can look for possible partners who is looking for something, sharing information, look for what is there. This simplifies your process, and in time, after participating in this or not only these projects, you will get your circuit of links and contacts, and this will simplify the construction of consortia or groups of entities to participate in projects. Proposal preparation. The portal provides the link to complete the application. Most of it is done online, so you need to follow the steps and the guidelines to complete the proposal. But there are some conditions that not conditions, some more than recommendations. You need to look at this if you want to have a successful proposal. It needs to be completed. You need to look at all the details that are requested and fill them in the adequate spaces. Check if you are eligible, and if the partners you are considering or that are involved are also eligible. This is a must, and if something is wrong, your proposal may not be considered, or it will be more complex to have it approved. It needs to be balanced, both in budget distribution and in regional distribution, and in some cases also in the composition of the consortium in terms of types, end users, academia, SMEs, industry. It needs to be balanced. Look at the co-funding rate. Co-funding rate is what you need to put in that it's not supported by EIT. For example, if the co-funding rate is 20%, it means that the total budget, you need to put 20% of the value. What are the demonstrations that are recommended or mandatory, and the KPIs that you need to cover? There are a set of KPIs defined by EIT, and each call will define which KPIs you need to comply with or to respond to. Content. I don't know if you ever participated in European calls or local calls, but usually you have the description of what you want to do, then how you're going to do it, so the tasks, what you're going to deliver. This could be code, publications, reports, specifications, whatever, depends on the project. You need to have results. So you need to express them there and how they are going to be achieved, and points of control, the milestones. Again, something that you need to look at is the clarity. And if it is feasible, you should aim to the stars, but well, if you are not, if you can't reach the stars, don't do it. Propose something that is credible, feasible, within the time frame and resources that you plan to use. What can you put on your costs? Well, personal costs, and personal costs are the direct costs associated to each of the participants, salaries, benefits, and things like this, what costs the social security. So direct costs are the personal costs. That's subcontracting. If you need to buy something to complete your job, please consider that you can't have 100% of subcontracting. This means that you're not able to do it. Someone else will need to do it for you. So it's possible to have subcontracting, but it needs to be meaningful and the value must be reasonable. Purchasing, things you need to do your job, other costs, something like preparation of dissemination activities, resources you may need to perform your activities, and indirect costs are the overheads that are put on top of the costs. Take in consideration the co-funding rate. It's not standard. It depends on the call and the type of call. So you need to look at what is requested. It may be almost zero, or for example, go up to 50%. It depends on the calls. Look at this. How is it evaluated? I'm not completely sure what is the success rate of EIT calls. Usually it depends on the calls themselves, and it's not there is not an average that we can consider for the moment, and it's relatively new, so I don't have these numbers. But in the European calls, the success rate is relatively low. So you need to be aware of how the evaluation is done, so that you can additionally to a good proposal where to focus on when you do it. So you need to, there are two packs of evaluations. One is the strategic fit, how the call responds to the strategic definitions for the EIT and the call, and also how it fits the knowledge triangle integration. This means that it may be different from call to call, from topic to topic, but how you have the distribution of the work and budget and composition through academia, end users, industry, SMEs. It needs to be well balanced. Then you have the what you propose. How good is it? How novel and how innovative it is? How it will impact? How it will fulfill the impact that it's expected? How it is financially sustainable? We'll look at this a little later. How is it? How is the organization designed, and how it is expected to be efficient on the implementation of the action, and what is the geographical balance of the coverage. EIT mobility, I will go a little faster because it's Paul already talked a little about this. What is I think important is who can participate in what. You have the core partners tier 1 and tier 2 that have a fee and have either capped or uncapped values for their proposals. And then we have project partners, assuming that today's participants are not tier 1 and tier 2. Project partners are not members of the EIT Urban Mobility. They don't have a fee. They have a fee to pay. They can participate in the calls, but they have a cap. So there is a maximum amount they can go for. And then we have affiliated entities that have a legal link with one of the partners, but their budget will be included in the partner budget. Or you can be also a third party, which means you are a sort of a subcontractor to to the legal entities that are participating, but you are not directly funded by EIT. Open calls. Okay, I have just a couple of slides covering the same topic, which is RIS innovation projects and RIS innovation. They are relatively similar in context, but the conditions are different. RIS for RIS innovation, the coordinator must be from a RIS country, while in innovation, in the innovation calls, anyone can participate. The budgets are different, but the activities or the topics to be addressed are the same. So they are active mobility, future mobility, sustainable, and mobility and energy. The calls are open since 19th of March and will be closed in roughly 1 month. The evaluation will be done until June this year. And there is something that is available for RIS innovation that it's not available for innovation, which is twin projects. Twin projects is a way to improve the financial, not the financial conditions, but as the budget is relatively low, in some cases there are projects that cover almost the same objectives and topics, and if they are identified, you can submit a twin project. This means that what you are doing locally in your project is close enough to another project somewhere else, so you can share some objectives, some targets, and improve the financial conditions overall of the two projects. The topics that are covered are active mobility. So when physical effort is needed for mobility, for example, walking, bicycling, if you have a bus where you need to move your feet to put it working, it could be considered active mobility. I don't know if it is a topic. Future mobility are the conditions or are the future options that are not options or ideas that are not today stable enough or even available to improve mobility in the cities. Sustainability are the proposals that cover better conditions or to give more sustainability to cities and to mobility in cities. And mobility and energy is moving from fossil support to other kinds of energy systems to provide mobility. These innovation projects are projects that cover specific needs of local RIS entities, local RIS regions. Consider that we don't have, up to the moment, I didn't say move into, I don't know, for example, efficient parking solutions or faster or longer electrical vehicles that can cover longer distances, because the topics are relatively open. You need to understand what is your technology or the knowledge that you have, and how a consortium can be built to define an efficient solution to cover the problems that are defined in the calls. So I cannot tell you what you are going to define as the problem that you are going to address. It's up to you to define the consortia and the way that you're going to cover the requirements.
So
Then you have also risk education and business creation that IASA and VGI will cover in more detail in other topics. Co-funding rate is between 5% and 20% for these calls and 30% for innovation calls, and we come to financial sustainability. The objective is EIT is to become financial sustainable in the long term. Initially, they will support, EIT will support the calls and the ideas, but the objective is that in the long term, the organization itself and the results that are coming out and the companies that are participating are generating revenue that will support the activities. For this, it's called to provide your strategy to well, making it simple, to make money out of the proposal, so that this can support then further activities, your activities and other activities, and increase innovation and the value in Europe. Citizen engagement, again, this will be addressed by IASA later, but the opening and the closing dates are the same, the evaluation the same. What is the objective? There are two kinds of proposals that can be submitted. Testing technologies and innovations methods or business models to include the citizens as a part of the solution and not of the problem to solve mobility challenges. And the other is events to promote the participation of citizens in the process, to make them aware and part of the solution for mobility. Co-funding rate is 20%, and the financial sustainability exactly the same thing I said. Financial sustainability is valid for every calling topic. Then we have public realm, and it covers the public spaces in general, urbanism and conditions to improve the public spaces and the urban mobility in general. Then the co-funding is 50%. And finally, so that you can look at the information available, different links that came up, and there is another page with some additional links. There is documentation available. There is the specific calls information, but also there are documents about the guidelines to participate. There is a very good document that explains how you can fill, if you need to fill the proposal documentation, how you can do it. There are also details about the eligibility expenditures, what is eligible and what is not, how to fill the information, how the projects are monitored, what is the grant agreement, what are the conditions in the grant agreement. This is fairly standard, but it is good to look at these legal details, and also the list of KPIs that are available, some of which you need to comply with, some you don't, depending on the specific call. And then a few useful links, and there are some other, either both in the EC portal and on the EIT Urban Mobility portal. And I hope I didn't take too much time, and for the moment, this would be what I have to say. I think we have a Q&A session later, so we will be available later for any questions.
So maybe, João, thank you so much. I will just pause here to ask you some questions, because there were a lot of questions and I just want to be very clear on them. So the first question we have is from Nuno Cunha, and he says, associations of municipalities for specific purposes can compete for the different calls, correct?
Can you repeat?
I will repeat. Associations of municipalities for specific purposes, can compete for the different calls?
I'm not a legal person, but as long as they have an identification, a PIC, and they are registered in Plaza as an association, yes. As long as they are a legal entity, yes.
Perfect. I'm also going to read here an answer. So Paulo Martins from IASA said, the notion of city has been widened. Cities and associations of cities, like CIMs or metropolitan areas, are considered as cities. Also, public transport entities owned by cities or associations of cities can be considered members of the city club, and the city club membership is free. So the next question is from Mihail Naranjo, and he says, an entity that is not yet part of the EIT can be the coordinator of a consortium to submit a call?
For a risk country, yes. I'm not sure if it can for the other calls.
Yep.
So we will need to check.
Yeah, that one I can support, they may not. So if it is a call including main countries, you have to have a core partner to be coordinator. You can participate though, but not leading. Then the next question would be from João Kushbuk. He says, is there any predictable tool or a calendar on future calls?
Well, I think someone from EIT should respond to this. Usually, as far as I know, these programs are planned 1 year in advance. So we are preparing for next year or end of this year. As the EIT is fairly new, I'm not sure if they have a longer term plan already. This can be checked with EIT and respond.
Yeah, João, thank you so much. I think that's, well, this, after having as well your presentation also have here some deadlines and links. So I think that it will be much easier as well for the audience to then check all the deadlines and all the calls. And obviously, I think that the easiest way in, since we are hub partners and we are Portugal hub of EIT Climate Kick, just reach out to us and we will support you on everything. I just left the email, a Gerald email, that then it will reach out to basically all of us and we communicate internally. So just reach out if you think that there's potential in any of the calls. We will support you. That's why we exist. So yes, so reach out to us. João, thank you so much.
Just to complement a little this last question. Typically, the Commission, and I believe the EIT works in a similar way, there is a multi-annual plan in advance, but yearly there may be some adjustments. So there is an idea of how things will run in the longer term, 2-3 years, but it doesn't mean that some adjustments are not needed yearly.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, João. Just to keep it on time, I will now ask Liliana to come on the virtual floor, let's say. And Liliana is the project manager at IASA, and she will be talking us for the next 20 minutes about the calls on citizen engagement and also academy.
Hi, good morning. So I'm going to present, as Sophia explained, thank you, Sophia, some details concerning the cause of citizen engagement and academy. So I will start with citizen engagement and then move to the academy call. So 2019 was an unforgettable year that clearly shaped how EIT Urban Mobility think and how does it need to go. So the citizen engagement call is clearly established to respond to some of the main challenges of our cities, but with a focus on involving citizens and end users on all solutions developed. So the main features of the call are for citizen engagement projects are focused on testing and implementing innovative methodologies, tools, business models or process through which citizens are involved or empowered to co-define mobility challenges and the co-creation process, but also events to be implemented in at least 2 different cities of the innovation hubs to target citizens to be involved, to create awareness about the roles of citizens and end users and how they can play to improve mobility for more livable urban spaces. The livable urban spaces are the main focus of the EIT Urban Mobility. In terms of project duration, they are looking for projects up to 12 months duration, and the citizen engagement activities should be focused on 5 simple areas: the active mobility, the sustainable logistics, the energy and mobility, the future of mobility, and the public realm. The main objectives to be achieved are the build trust for long-lasting relations with citizens, and to create awareness about the role of citizens and how they can play in improving mobility. This is the second objective. The third one is to enhance two-way communication between both sides. The fourth is to create opportunities to experience new products, systems, and service. The fifth, to share information to increase knowledge and interest in urban mobility related topics. And the last one, but not least, to ensure that citizens are part of the ideation process. In terms of budget, the budget allocation is up to 800 key euros. And in terms of more specifications, you can see here that for testing and implementation of innovative methodologies and business models and process, they are looking for 4 to 5 proposals, okay, with this type of budget for each one of them. And for the events, they are just looking for 1 proposal with this financing, okay. In terms of the partnership composition, the actions addressed to test and implement innovative methodologies, tools, and business or process, you should go with a minimum of 2 beneficiaries from 2 different European Union member states or associated countries, including at least 1 municipality. But of course, if you can enroll with more cities, that will be highly evaluated. Applicants are also encouraged to include partners from his region. So here, Portugal is in a good place to be part of the consortium because we are in a RIS region. So we are a partner to be involved in the consortiums because this is also highly evaluated in the proposals. For the projects on events, you should go with a minimum of 4 beneficiaries from 2 different European Union member states, at least 2 municipalities from 2 different innovation hubs. This is important because innovation hubs are different, so you cannot go with 2 cities from Portugal. And 2 partners from 2 other different sides of the knowledge triangle. You should consider academia, research, and industry, okay? And again, you are also encouraged to include partners from RIS regions. All partner categories can participate in the call, either as lead applicant or beneficiary, and the partner categories, as explained by my colleague from Thales, are the core partners, the project partners, and so on. But they also encourage the involvement and participation of non-governmental organizations for citizen engagement proposals. This is also highly evaluated in the proposal. In terms of calendar, my colleague from Thales already explained, but the call will close at 18th of May. And you have here the time for check admissibility and eligibility at the end of the month. And then the evaluation goes on during June. The communication of results will start at the beginning of July, the conditions clearing in the middle of July, and then the compliance check for the fulfillment of conditions at the end of July, and the final selection of the portfolio of proposals to enroll in 22 will be at the beginning of August. I will move now to the academy call. If you have any questions, you can ask at the end of the presentations, please. So for the academy call, IIT Urban Mobility is looking for proposals to support the creation of relevant and widely applied education and training portfolio in line with the strategic ambitions and target impact of the EIT. So the academy call this year is focused on master school and the competence hub. The doctoral studies are not part of the academy call this year. So for the master school, IIT is looking for new and more efficient teaching concepts like summer schools, marketing, and raising awareness initiative, okay? Specifically, but not isolated in the regions. And for the Competence Hub, it's a professional school that intends to target lifelong learning, and it is welcoming proposals regarding urban mobility courses, online, blended, or face-to-face, with significant potential in impact and revenue, and proposals concerning meeting city staff, education, and training needs. This is also a focus at the call in this year, okay? And again, also targeting regions again in the proposals. In terms of specifications, so the academy call is welcoming 1-year activities to be completed in the next year, 2022. Although activities potentially continuing beyond the next year, the proposal consortium must indicate if they are willing to repeat or continue the activity in the next years. And if so, they are expecting a high-level plan to be included in the proposal, okay? And if it's the case, if there is an agreement, that is a possibility. In terms of the master school, I will move through the 6 topics open, just to give you an overview. But again, for more details, you can look at the proposal. We can send you the document. You don't need to look for it. So the first topic of the master school is the creation of summer schools. And here EIT is looking for 2 or 3 proposals concerning with this. So the concept of the summer school that they are looking is a combination of a challenge-based course and a study trip, focus on entrepreneurship and business creation. So there will be 2 weeks where students will visit 2 cities and working on a challenge during this time. The first week in one city, focusing on the problem analysis, and the second week in another city, focusing on the potential solutions that should be possible to develop. And it's clear here with commercial institute, since they develop into a startup and to be pitched into an investor jury, okay? The second topic is the challenge student competition. This is focused on student competition focused on urban mobility topics, okay? The goal here is to attract a large number of student teams and as well as sponsors. So EIT is always focused on this part of the sponsors and so on, okay? And here they are looking just for 1 proposal. The third topic is the raising awareness for activities and course. So student activities at the bachelor level to raise the awareness around urban mobility as a topic. And here you can propose courses online or blended or summer schools or other type of activities, okay? The third topic is related with the regional innovation scheme integration. And here they are looking for 1 to 2 proposals. So they are looking here for initiatives to better integrate the regions, universities, like teachers and students in the master school activities. And this might be designed as an integrated or standalone activity within the academic, or it might be made in cooperation with EIT Urban Mobility RIS, but the budget has to be separated, okay? The 5th one is the new urban mobility program curriculum, open also to non-engineering students. This is something new from last year. So here the program concept wants to enhance an existing degree, okay? They want you to grab an existing degree and improve it, okay, with a sort of a minor, to add an urban mobility minor to that program that already exists. So they are looking here for courses related with other topics, not so focused on urban mobility, and add something on that topic. The last one from master school is to teach teaching methodology with the knowledge triangle perspective. And here they are looking for 1 to 2 proposals. So new teaching methodology fitting the need within the master school. Okay. And the developed concept should be possible to directly integrate in existing master school programs. Okay. Moving now to the competence hub, here you have 7 different topics that you can apply. I will again move briefly. There has each one of these topics has a lot of details, okay, and we can provide you more details at the end of this session. But here, for instance, the first topic is to online urban mobility courses with a significant financial and impact. So this is just for online. So they are looking for professional lifelong learning in urban mobility, education and training concepts. So initiatives regarding courses or course package with a significant market and impact potential, but online, okay? The second topic is the same, but face-to-face, okay, not online. The third one is to meeting city staff education needs. So EIT Urban Mobility is welcoming proposals with plans to train city staff or policymakers, but still with the potential to reach break-even in the long run, or to identify or involve sponsors willing to cover part of the cost of the course. The fourth one is related with innovation, with the regional innovation scheme. They are looking for 1 or 2 proposals here. So they want the competence hub activities to play an important role to wider impact courses that should be run at a low cost per learner or participant. And the EIT Urban Mobility is welcoming proposals with a high potential to reach the break-even in the long run. So here again, the focus is to promote the knowledge and the competence of the ones in the risk countries, okay? The fifth one is the hackathons. The hackathons is quite a topic in the EIT Urban Mobility, and they have been quite successful in the last years, and they are being able to get relevant stakeholders working together on city challenges through this mechanism, through these hackathons. And this year, they are looking for proposals, again, focus on hackathons, but with a financial perspective more appealing to the EIT Urban Mobility, okay? More focus on finding sources to support the hackathons and sponsoring it, okay? The sixth, it's related with multi-stakeholder collaboration courses. So here, courses, education and training initiatives, especially focusing on breaking the silos and systemic innovation and multi-stakeholder collaboration, are demonstrating a strong focus on the integration of the knowledge triangle. So the proposals in this area should provide and should aim for a significant market and again, impact potential, okay? The last one of the Competence Hub is the challenge groups. So here, the scope is to launch an executive level challenge groups focusing on a specific common issue. These are small knowledge sharing groups to facilitate the coach with the occasional guest to inspire or trigger dialogue. So this is actually a challenge, but focus on professionals, okay? In terms of more specifications of this call, you can see that the budget allocation is up to 2.4 million euros. And here, 30% of this budget is focused on master school and 70% on the competence hub. So you can see here that there's an effort to potentiate the knowledge and training of professionals related with urban mobility. And the maximum EIT Urban Mobility funding is 200 per action, okay? And the proposed activities should be completed within the next year, okay? There are no formal requirements regarding co-funding in this call. this is not the same as the citizen engagement, as my colleague from Thales explained, but here there is no co-funding for the master school. However, for the competence hub, the minimum level of co-funding required is 10%. Okay. However, if you propose a higher co-funding, that will be highly evaluated in your proposal. The academy call is open to any type of organization. The proposal should be submitted by a consortium comprising of minimum 2 sub-grantees from 2 different countries, European member states or an associated country. The deadline is the same as the citizen engagement call, and so does the calendar that I present a few slides ago. And that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Liliane. We do have here some questions as well. So the first one will go from Mihai. How much is the fee to become a partner and be eligible to apply as a coordinator in this call? So my suggestion, maybe Liliane, you also want to add something on that. My suggestion would be for you to probably first try to enter within a consortium, and some members already know how this works, because many of the things, you can be a subcontractee or you can be a partner, and there's different levels of partnership with different levels of also monetary engagement. So my suggestion would be, if you are interested, if you have an idea, reach out to us and we can support you on making the consortium. But Liliane, would you like to add something?
No, I believe your suggestion is quite useful, but for the ones who are starting, it's actually the most efficient way to get in touch and involved in the EIT Urban Mobility.
And then there's also a question which is regarding public universities. If there is any financial support from the national contact point.
The national contact point, like the IASA, Portugal?
Yeah, I think that's the question, and no.
No, we are, I mean, as Claudia presented, we are going to conduct some activities this year where universities can enroll, but financial support directly to universities, we don't have any specific line for that.
Yes, perfect. And then there is a question. I have to confess, I'm quite surprised with a very short deadline, May 18, since it's open since March 19. Yes, that's the, we are doing this activation, and indeed, and I think that for external partners, it could be interesting to join potentially existing consortiums and existing ideas, rather than start from scratch. Yeah, but we are it's not difficult to write those applications, and if you do look into the proposals, you'll see it's not that hard. And to build a solid consortium and write a sound proposal, yes, Vasco, indeed, for you to write a solid proposal, you have to have a really good abstract, to be extremely honest, really good abstract, and to understand really well how the work packages are going to work. The application, as I said, is not that hard. It's very strict to point. Typically, you have character limits, so you have to be strict to the point, and you have to make it very clear exactly what you want to pull off. And typically here, what they are looking is not for entities to go beyond what they typically do. They want to check people that have track record doing this, and to implement, of course, adapt it for urban mobility. But it's not supposed to you to invent new things or go out of your core business. So yeah, typically these applications are not that difficult to write because of it. And to create a solid consortium, once again, you should really work with us towards that, because we are part of the network, and we know, and we can connect you inside or even work with you. I don't know, Liliane, if you want to add something on this as well.
No, perhaps just adding that if you are starting, of course, it seems difficult and hard and somehow impossible, but it's not. You have to start by connecting with partners and knowing the players in the game, and showing yourself and be at the events. And then you have to see what is your offer from your company, from your university, and so on. And then you should go for the partners who can be a complement of your offer in order to create a good proposal. If it's not for this year, at least we are raising awareness for the next year, because it's supposed to have a call every year.
Yeah, precisely. That's exactly it, Liliana. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Now we are going to pass for the last two areas of the call specifics, which are business creation and the RIS area, so the Regional Innovation Scheme. Both of them will be presented by my colleague, Claudia Carocha. In those specific cases, Vasco, I think that it could also be interesting. We already have some proposals on the line, and it could be interesting for you to integrate on already project that exists, especially on a first approach to EIT. EIT is an inclusive network. However, once you are inside, everything is much easier. And that process typically goes after you being accepted. Okay, so yeah. So Claudia, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Sophia. So yes, I'm going to present you the guidelines for the business creation for the main countries, and also for Portugal if you want to apply, and then the specific calls for the risk countries. Meanwhile, I'm also going to present two proposals that the Hub is developing, mainly BGI. So if you want to be part of it, you're not from the network, but you want to get inside of it, please contact us and see if you could be interested in being part of these applications. So I'm going to start with the business creation. So we already talked, my colleague Shomir already explained more or less here the business creation. So business creation activities is everything that involves startups or entrepreneurs. And it's normally programs that help entrepreneurs grow their business into successful business ventures. So EIT Urban Mobility already has programs inside business creation, but it's looking for programs that tackle gaps that they don't have yet. So imagine they only consider, let's say, scale-up startups. So they are looking for programs that support other stage of development startups. It could be early stage. This is just an example, but the goal is to promote programs that can really help startups creating successful ventures through training, advice, funding, and opportunities for networking. In business creation, you have, as it is for the academia calls, you have two types of programs that you can apply to organize in your own country. So one of them is going to be the accelerators programs and the SME Hub. And here, yes, so these are two programs from different stage of maturity that they are looking for partners to organize them. So the accelerator programs are programs that will support startups from TRL 4 to TRL 7. So these are the normal startups that we see every day. So they are like, they already have a product, maybe they are launching the new product in the market. They could have a client or two, but they are still needing acceleration in terms of funding or opportunities. And here, so it's startups normally connected to technology and to market validation. The whole goal of this program is to nurture the startups from the various EIT Urban Mobility programs. So here it's key to make a connection with the other programs that already existed, that already been funded, and as well as other programs of EIT. So not only startups from EIT Urban Mobility, we have a lot of startups in climate kick from urban mobility area. So it's key to also connect to the various kicks. That's why it's also valuable if you connect to a company that's already been working with EIT Urban Mobility, because these entities will know what are the other kicks, what are the other programs. They will help you make this bridge between your proposal and other programs already funded. And yes, so this call is also open to a consortium that I'm going to explain in further. So we have the same 5 challenge areas that we have for the other programs. So this is general for all the calls open. You have the active mobility, future mobility, city logistics, mobility and energy, and the public realm. Here you can apply an acceleration program that is focused on only one 5 challenge area, or you can apply one that doesn't really focus in one, but it combines all of the 5 ones. So it doesn't need specifically to be so focused on only startups from active mobility. You have flexibility to propose the challenge area that you consider the best according to your network and expertise. In terms of what do you need to do, you need to have at least 10 startups to be accelerator. And how does this work? The program opens twice a year. So imagine the program opens from January, and you have the first stage of the program from January to June. And here you have 5 startups that you're going to mentor, you're going to support them, you're going to create collaborations for them. And then you have the second stage of the program that is from July to December, and it's the same thing. So you have, again, 5 startups, and you have to provide them the program. You also have here, you need to create access to living labs and other programs of EIT Urban Mobility. And it's also value the industry and city involvement. So much more than giving training to the startups, what they really need is connections. They need network, they need clients, they need pilots. So it's really critical to create this bridge between the startups that are launching in the market and also industry and city stakeholders. And then, of course, you have to deliver business and investment coaching and also urban mobility specific expertise. So yes, you can apply to do this program in your own country. Let me remind you that this is for the main countries. It means that, imagine if for Portugal, you cannot be a leader of this proposal. You have to join a proposal that's already in place, that it comes from a partner. So it needs to come from a partner of EIT Urban Mobility already, and you can apply to be on that proposal, but you cannot lead that proposal. The SME Hub program, the accelerator is more, let's say, medium stage startups, and here we have already scale-ups or small and medium enterprises. So we already have TRL 7 to TRL 9. And here the whole goal is to bridge the gap between SMEs, cities, and industry to boost market penetration of innovation urban mobility solutions. So on the other one was much more putting the product in the market, creating the first pilots, creating the first stage of these connections. Here, it's really to conduct business. So we are looking for this supports SMEs that already have products, they already did the pilots, and they are looking for potential clients. You need to create at least 2 pilots to be conducted with EIT Urban Mobility industry partners. So between all the network of urban mobility, we have several industry partners, and at least 2 pilots have to be created with them. We need to organize a kickoff event for each one of the intakes from SME Hub program. Is the same. So if you imagine if you open the program twice a year, you have to create a kickoff event twice. Give support to make SMEs visible through the EIT Urban Mobility web page and portfolio map. These are tools that Urban Mobility has for startups to make brand awareness of them, and it's also important for the entity to provide this to them to create visibility. There's also international promotion of the SME Hub and the selected startups. This is also important. That's why it's important to create a consortium with different countries and not only have one. And also SMEs will get support in form of grants for the pilot execution and will be expected to contribute to the financial sustainability of urban mobility. Here, you need to provide these grants. So on your budget of the program, should be something allocated to the grants for the startups to do the SMEs. And you have to understand how can you create financial sustainability for urban mobility. That means in the future, the urban mobility funding can be reduced, and you need to create sustainability financially for the program itself. So this will be, it could be from equity on the startups, it could be from fees to pay, it could be from anything you can think of to create not sustainability, not only for the program, but also to EIT Urban Mobility. In terms of budget, so here you have that the number of programs to be granted in the accelerators are 5 to 7, and the budget per program will be from 250K to 350K. So this is per program, and this has to be split between the consortium, okay? For the SME Hub, only one program is going to be accepted, and the budget is more or less because it's going to be the same. So you have this budget here. There's no co-funding mandatory. So you can just suggest or not, but if you don't have co-funding, they can fund the total budget of the project. The duration, as Liliana already said, this program can be up to 1 year or up to 3 years, and you are the ones defining it. So when you go to Plaza, you can allocate 1 year or 3 years. So you are the ones making this proposal, being that this budget is only for 1 year, okay? The proposal submission, as already João Mir already explained, is going to be on Plaza. The eligibility, in this case, as it is for a main country, the lead applicant needs to be a EIT Urban Mobility partner or an experienced project partners. Here, the most easy way is to contact with the hub and to get in touch with potential partners, because the network is really big, and we can help you support you on what is the best partner for your idea. And also imagine that you have this expertise. You cannot lead because you're not EIT Urban Mobility core partner. So if you want to be in touch with partners or potential opportunities, we can also put you in contact with that. Also, in case, I think I saw a question on YouTube, in case you want to become now a EIT Urban Mobility core partner just to lead a consortium, this takes time. So normally the process of being a partner, you will not be finished until the 18th of May. So that's why we recommend first to get in touch with other entities, be part of other proposals, and then if you are accepted and you want to be a partner, it's better for you and for your entity because of management of also expectations. And this is the deadline for the submission. The 18th of May is the same for all the calls. I'm also going to present you a call. Here is the timeline, is the same for all the calls also, so you can already book these dates on your calendar. And for all the calls that we are going to show today, all the dates are the same. And I'm going to also show you a proposal that we are working with. In case you could be interested, as we said before, it's easier to get in touch with the hub with entities that already work with urban mobility and the EIT to get into proposals. We don't have a lot of time, but still, and the RIS hub has more knowledge and expertise on the EIT urban mobility, so they can really help you on getting side proposals. So on BGI, we are creating a proposal for an acceleration program to accelerate 10 startups from different countries. We want to create a mentorship and training program and a competition to select the best startups to be on the program and to foster this pilot with City. So what we are looking for is partners, is two types of partners: cities to pilot with technologies. So if you're a city and you have projects already in urban mobility and you want innovation to come inside that project, please contact us. If you are an entity with experience in accelerator and scouting startups, also please contact us. So yes, we are looking for partners. If you think this is a good possibility for you, please let us know. We can explain you. Of course, this is not a mandatory, you get in touch and that's it, but we want to have a meeting with you. We want to explain you what we are doing and if it could be interesting for you or not. Then I'm going to present now the RIS calls that are specifically from Portugal, and on these ones you can lead a consortium, okay, even if you're not a partner. But as we said before, it's better for your proposal to be in contact or with the hub or with other institutions of urban mobility. Otherwise, you don't, in the consortium, it's more valuable to have hubs inside it than to have just entities that normally don't work with this network. So on the regional innovation scheme, as we already talked before, these are countries that don't have, they are not strong moderators in terms of innovation. This is a name and a category that was given by Horizon Europe. So yes, these countries are, you have here the list of the countries. Portugal is in this list, but you have other countries as Bulgaria, some parts of Italy, Greece, Estonia, and other Horizon Europe associated countries. So from all these countries, you can apply, you can lead a consortium, okay? So what is the goal on these countries? Is really to improve the conditions of innovation and in comparison with the main countries. And here the main countries, we are talking about the other European countries that are not here. You can see them in this image. The green ones are the ones, the regional innovation scheme countries. So the whole goal of the RIS calls is really to change public places for more social use. And by this change, we can change the social interconnections and the social network, demonstrate experiments or pilots are needed, and regardless of the results, they can support the increase of citizens' engagement and also interconnect innovators across our community, because it's better to work in collaboration and also for project implementations. So these are the goals for the RIS countries. In the RIS countries, I'm just here, you have the same calls that we already show you today. So the calls of academia, innovation, citizens engagement, business creation apply the same for the RIS countries, but the conditions may differ, okay? So it's important for you to see the details of each one of these calls, because the conditions for the consortium, for the budget, co-financing could be slightly different, but the topics of the calls are similar. So on the RIS innovation, we are looking for new products, services, or business models to be developed in the RIS countries. The areas, the 5 challenge areas are the same, but we take the public realm on innovation, is not in this call. The RIS education is supporting cooperation in the RIS education activities, offering new courses or special professional education programs for RIS professionals, university, city cooperation to raise awareness for new local challenge and connect with young talents. Here on the education, you don't apply to organize the summer schools, okay? Or the hackathons, like we show you before. Here you can apply your own programs. On the business creation is the same as the previous example. So you don't apply to organize the accelerator and the SME program that I showed you before. Here you can apply anything you want, anything you want to support startups. So if you have an idea of a competition or a program for startups, you can apply that. There's not the acceleration program or the SME. On the community building, it is really, we are looking for actions to support integrations of the RIS innovation communities. So all the countries, okay, you can promote activities that connect different countries that are part of the RIS, and that actually strengthens the local community and the local knowledge triangle in integration. The local knowledge triangle is the business area, the academia area, and the startups area. So we are looking for ways to connect these 3 stakeholders to create innovation in European Union. And yes, so here you have the budget. As you can see, it's different from the budget from the other calls that were already shown today. So on RIS innovation, you have here the max that you can ask for an entity is not per project, is per entity, is 500,000, okay? And the estimated overall available budget for the area is 1 million, okay? Here you can see that there's a suggested grant of 80%. What does this mean? That EIT Urban Mobility is suggesting that the max they are going to pay off the project is 80%. So you need to co-fund the remaining 20% of the project. Of course, you can change it. You can increase your co-funding or decrease it. This is just suggested, so you can change it on your proposal. And for all the proposals we have, it could be 1 year or multi-annual. So yes, you can see that the RIS innovation is the one with a higher budget in terms of per activity, and then the max budget per entity is 500,000 for all of them. In terms of co-financing, the last one is the one that requires less, only 5%, but you also have other opportunities that could be interesting. The duration, it's up to 12 months per now. That means that even if you apply for a multi-annual program, the contract is yearly, because of Horizon Europe rules. the applicants need to submit a proposal on Plaza, and the deadline is 18th of May. The timeline is the same, so I'm not going to show you again. And I'm also going to show you a proposal that we are working on business creation part of the risk countries, and we are looking for partners. If you want to be part of it, if you want to know more and know how can you add value to this proposal, please let us know. Please get in touch with us. So we are doing a proposal to create a program, train the trainer and mentorship between corporates and startups. The target will be to involve 5 corporates and 5 startups in 3 different countries. And we are looking for partners who have connections with corporates or startups. Also, if you're a corporate, please let us know. If you're a corporate in Portugal or other risk country and you want to connect with startups, to know their innovations, to do pilots with them, please let us know. We are looking for partners for corporates in Portugal also and other countries that want to get in touch with startups. And we are also interested in having entities that have experience in supporting startups, accelerators, incubators, networks of business, networks of industry could also be relevant, and entities from the risk countries, because that's our goal, to create a community here of startups and corporations inside the risk countries. And yes, so get in touch with us if you want to be part of one of the, if one or the 2 of proposals that we show you today. If you have any questions or you want to know more about the proposal, please get in touch, and we are here to support you on that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claudia. All right, so we'll take around 5 minutes now to wrap up and for all the questions. And so I see here some questions on the chat, more specifically towards how to make consortiums, how can you do matchmaking. So as we speak, this is the first time that the hub is dedicated to actually explain the calls. We didn't even know what would be the response. So as we speak, the methodology we have is that you do email us if you are interested or if you want to collaborate, and we will support you as a channel. However, if we do see that we do have a lot of people, obviously for next year, we will build a more professional matchmaking tool. So far, there's still no need because we still didn't have a target, or we didn't still have the interest. But it is our goal to actually build this community in Portugal and to start obviously connecting you. There's several opportunities and we can connect you with the network. So right now, if you are interested, if you have an idea that can be suitable for the calls, if you saw our calls and you want to be part of them, you should contact us. This is right now the way to do it, and we will contact you with the contacts that we have, okay? Being them other consortiums, other partners, or other people that just show interest just like you. Then, so this answers, I think, Vasco, Mihail, and Isabel questions. And then looking to other questions, kind of partnership event. I'm a researcher in a public entity FCT unit. Yes, Paula, so we go into the same thing. If you are interested, let us know. And do we have the partners list and the consortium? So we don't have the consortiums publicly available, so you don't know who is actually applying, because some consortiums even fell before they apply. So we don't have the list of the consortiums. We have the list of the partners. This is actually public. If you go to EIT Urban Mobility, you can look for the partners in all the countries, and you have them all there. The South Hub has the headquarters in Barcelona. Portugal is there. What is your relation to them? So this is actually important because, as Claudia said, we are a risk country, okay? And this is important. And Spain is not a risk country. So they actually have, let's say, the hub of all the South countries. And in that sense, they cannot, for instance, apply for the risk applications because they are not a risk entity. So they are more a sort of a coordinator, aggregator, and trying to also provide support for all the risk countries that they are working with in the south in this specific point. But you also have in Czech Republic the other hub. I don't know, Claudia, Liliana, if you want to add something on this. before I continue?
No, is this. So the South countries are coordinated by Barcelona Hub. So that's our connection with them. So every time that we have a program, the Barcelona Hub supports us on dissemination or looking for synergies, looking for partners inside the network. So they are really our coordinators in the sense that they support us inside the network. Of course, we have the RIS coordinator, let's say, that supports all these countries, but the South Hub helps you on connections with other programs and connections with other partners.
Liana, I don't know if you want to add something.
No, I do believe that Claudia mentioned everything as well as you, so I don't have anything to add.
And then a last question is Lisbon, if it's a RIS scheme, it is. Lisbon itself is not an area because you always talk about countries, right? And so Portugal is a RIS area. It is a RIS area for raw materials, for climate kick, for digital, for urban mobility. So we are still a RIS area. However, Portugal in 2 years will leave that label. Precisely because of the European innovation ranking, where Portugal is, becoming a strong innovator. So, but so far we still are in that section with that label, and we can apply for those calls. So all in all, what is important is if you found this interesting, please reach us out. We just put the email of Claudia from BGI. I also put the one from BGI Geral. You also have the board of directors from IASA, and you also have João Mira from Thales. You have their emails. Reach out to us. We can support you. We can connect you with the partners. We can connect you. We can support you on the applications if they are suitable. And at this moment, it is a priority to activate the hubs. As we speak, there are only 3 hubs in the RIS countries, which is Portugal, Greece, and Malta. So these are going to be, let's say, priorities inside EIT, and, well, in this case, with EIT Urban Mobility, and we believe it could be extremely interesting for you to also liaise on us for those topics. So with no further ado, and with 1 minute late, so this is actually really great for the Portuguese. We are getting on time with the online living after COVID. We just want to really thank you a lot for being here with us today. Feel free to reach out to us to get involved. If urban mobility is a topic you work in or that you can support us achieving more, reach out. We are waiting for you. This is what this event is about. And I can assure that we will do more events such as this one, and also awareness. So keep connected with our network, social media networks, subscribe to our newsletter so you get to know all the latest insights and opportunities. I also saw a lot of interest from some of you for the Get in the Ring Urban Mobility. It's going to open soon, so next week. And so if you are interested, also reach out to us. You can subscribe to our newsletter, and soon enough you'll receive how you can apply and pilot with those cities. So thank you so much, all of you. I would like to thank once again my colleagues that were here today presenting. Obviously, Paulo, João, Liana, and Claudia. I hope you have enjoyed it. And of course, a thank you for the 3 entities here present, Thales, IASA, and BGI. And yes, I wish you have a great day, and I wish you can do a lot of programs inside EIT Urban Mobility. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.